Alright guys, welcome back to my channel. Today, what I want to do is I want to show you guys how to install a piece of MC. MC is metallic cable. I'm going to show you first the wrong way to do it. Not necessarily wrong, I'm not going to do it that way, but I want to show you guys things that you should not use when you are installing MC. First off, this is a Romex connector. Not to be used. Okay guys? They make certain items for certain applications. This is a Romex connector. This is not an MC connector. If you use this, which I have seen so many people do, you risk the chances of it crushing into the wires, shorting out. Now, along with any of the other MC connectors, you risk the same thing. But with this, chances of it doing it are even more. And even though the inspector will let it slide, I've seen many times, don't use it. All right. Now, what do you use? Well, let's start out with the basic tite. These right here are my favorites. You see, it's like a barrel clamp, kind of. These are my favorites. It has a lock nut on the bottom, like the other one. It's rounded all the way through. I'm going to show you how to install these in a minute. I don't have any double barrels at all, but I do have another, which we call these snap ones. I mean, these are okay. With these right here, even though I don't really care much for them, they do not, I have yet to ever, and I'm not going to stand here and say I've never, that I remember of anyway, put one of these into use and had a wire short out. Now, let me tell you something about these. When I first, on the road, I was doing Target remodels. Here comes a story, I know. And we use these right here. The journeyman I was working around, because I was a journeyman then, said, well, you don't have to use any red eyes because it already has one in it. And I was like, that is not what that's for. And he argued up and down with me. Well, we went through inspection, and yeah. The inspector in North Carolina, if you're in North Carolina and you're an electrician or an apprentice or whatever, you guys already know, y'all's inspectors are pretty damn tough. They're way tougher than Virginia's. Anyway, he said, no red eyes, fail. So he failed the whole job until we went around and pulled out all the pieces of MC we use and had to show him literally each and every one of them, which was good. All the ones I did had red eyes in them. Now you're probably saying, what is a red eye? It's not a drink like, you know, you put beer in and then put the VA juice in it. It's not that. But I'll show you what those are in a minute. Here is another one. All right. This is like a push-in. You just push it in. Basically, it has little fingers inside of it. I don't know if you can see them or not. There, now you can see them. They're little metal fingers in there, and they grip very tightly on a piece of MC. Now, at Target, we had to do everything live, which is a big no-no, because we couldn't have the registers down, blah, blah, blah. So, when we were doing the cash register wraps, we just had to go for broke. Every time I would stick one of these in here, I would get shocked, because those little metal things would basically rip the wires, and let me tell you, that was great. So that brings me down to something else. If you hear somebody say they got shocked, that means you touched the wire, it was hot, blah, blah, blah. If you hear somebody say they got electrocuted, that means they're dead. So if you say, oh, Jamie went there and he was touching the plug and he got electrocuted, well, that means he's dead. I hear that term used so many times the wrong way. So just remember, guys, especially if you're electricians. Shocked means you're still walking around, you just got zapped. Electrocuted, you ain't gonna be talking to me. All right. So those are, here's a push-in, a snap, and I don't have any double barrels, I'm sorry. Tite bite, that's what we call these. It's the brand. And then last but not least, we have a 90. Now, there are a few other ones I don't have. These are the ones I use the most. The ones that I prefer, obviously the tite bites. I got both, the 90s and these. So I'm going to show you guys how to use pretty much every single one of them. All right? Super easy. And I'm going to show you what a red eye is. Now, this is a red eye. We, in Virginia, call these red eyes. I've heard them called redheads, red eye, anti-short bushings. So, and there's other things I've heard people call them. And as long as you put them in, it don't matter what they're called. It could be called steak. As long as they're put them in, you're good. All right. Now, here are the things, first, that you don't want to use while you're putting MC in. Now, when I first started one of my first jobs, I saw an old journeyman installing MC this way right here. He used one of these and he cut it like this. Now, sure, that'll work for greenfield. And that did work on this because he just was really careful, but that's not how you really do it. Now, like I've said, I've seen many people do many things the wrong way. I'm not going to say that was wrong. I'm just going to say that's the way you shouldn't do it. This is an item that you should have. Now, you don't have to have this one right here. This is a greenlee. Everything you see that I'm going to use will be down below in the description. I looked down like I was going to look down and see the description. But it'll be down in my description. And you can order from Amazon. My store helps my channel out. It doesn't cost you a dime more. It just helps my channel grow, and I can reinvest in and buy different things. These are my favorites right here. These are Kleins, and these are just MC splitters, cutters, whatever you want to call them. Nobody I have ever seen ever uses this part where my finger is right there. The little hole. I'm going to show you guys what that's for because I found out the hard way, or the easy way, I don't know, however you want to call it, how to use that. 100% world of difference. All right, now, enough talking, right? Enough yapping. I'm going to show you how to use these. I'm going to show you how to use these first, all right? I don't have a box up here yet. That leads me into my next thing. MC is not for a plastic box at all. How many times have I seen that? These are Romex boxes. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to come up here and I'm going to mount a box real quick and show you guys how to put this stuff in here. So never mind this. These are other videos that I've done. If you want to check any of them out, I'm going to link them right over here in the channel. You can check out any one of them. And I've got a whole playlist of switches, 4-ways, lighted switches, blah, blah, blah. So regardless, I'm going to show you how to use these first, and then I'll show you how to use these. These are my favorite. These are not bad, but I have 2 sets of these. One of them works and one of them doesn't, so I'm hoping that this is the one that works. And if it doesn't, then, well, you'll get the gist of it. All right, so first thing you want to do is you want to know how much you want to put in your box, all right? I generally, now, I know you're probably going to say, that's way too much wire. But this is about how much I would put in there. So there's my arm. I almost put from my fingertip to my elbow. That's where I would strip it at. Yes, that's too much. Do I care? Not really. So we're going to stick it in here like this. You take it in, you put it in, you pull it back down. All right, so you kind of get it tight. It stays in there. As you see, right? It's not coming out. I mean, there's my other hand. What you'll do is you'll squeeze it. And you hold it, not so hard where you can't do anything with it. You'll just squeeze it just a little bit, just to hold it. And you're just going to turn this. Turn, 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 turn. And eventually, when you don't hear it, these are the ones that work, by the way. When you don't hear it cutting anymore, you know it's good. You take your top piece, pull it out, take it, twist it, boom. Capiche? At this point, what I would do is, I see it now, there's no wrong way to do this, all right? But this is the way that I was taught to do, and this is the best way that I think. I take my red eye, redhead, and I short bushing, and I stick it in like so, right? Because it has it's kind of cut open in the middle, as you see right there. All right. I take it and I put it on the wire, and you just push it down in there, and see how it's still sticking up? Just push it down. That's all you got to do. Now, at this point, what I would do is which I'm going to mount the box here in a second, is I would just fold it over and not cut it off yet, and I'll show you why in a second. All right, for my box mounting, we're going to take our tight bite connector first things first. Now these things, when they come out of the box, at least from what I've seen, you always have to unscrew them just a little bit. All right, and you can put this in the box first if you want to, but for me, I'm going to show you guys out of the box. All right, so like I said, you don't cut that off just yet. I don't. You pull it down and you hold it tight. All right, you don't hold it on the side where the cut is, because you want to put pressure on it. If you put it in the middle there, it's not going to do anything. All right, so you take it on, put this on, kind of work it on. You make sure it is seated in there. You can do it in the box just the same. Make sure it's seated in there. Now what you have left is you have this. Okay, we are going to right now tighten it down. Now don't tighten this down so much till it's completely flat. There's no reason to it. This piece in here, it looks like this. It's got 2 fingers and 2 fingers. I only have one on the bottom, maybe like this. And it grabs each individual little space in the MC. All right, now you do want to make it tight. You just don't want to tighten up so much. And you want to make sure it's all the way in there, because if you don't, it will short out then. All right? Boom. It ain't coming out. All right? Now don't say, you haven't cut the plastic off yet. I know that. My suggestion to you is, always keep the screw part out if you do it like I'm doing it. Now normally I would not do it like that, but I just wanted to show you guys, you know, how it is to, how it fits in the connector. Me as I struggle. All right, at this point, you would take your screwdriver and you would tighten it up. I'm not gonna do that because I need to get it back out for video purposes, of course. All right, then you would make your joint up. When it's all said and done, take your knife and just, boom, you're ready to rock and roll. Let's check out another connector and let me show you guys how they work. And then I'm gonna show you how to use those red handle pliers, because those are my favorite, hands down. All right, guys, question of the day. Let's say you're on a job but you don't have any of these anti-shorts. Can you use tape, wrap it around there? Well, at that point, you would pull the wire out a little bit, not much. Just pull it out so it's, you know, good and tight. Wrap some tape on there, put it back in there. Can you do that legally and get away with the code? Leave a comment down below and let me know. I know the answer, but I want to see if you guys know. So down in the comments, leave me what you think, and whoever is the winner is the winner. With this connector right here, you have to put it in there first. No other way around it. I mean, you can fight it in there and it sucks, so don't do that. All right, the way to put these in is you want to squeeze a little bit like this. So put your thumb on it, squeeze it in, put it in at an angle. So you want like this, and you want to push it in so it rocks in. So we're going to do this. Boom. Okay. Secondly, we're going to put the wire in, pull it in. You're going to have to hold it, and you are going to just tighten her up. Now, in my personal opinion, these connectors are, like I said before the beginning of this video, they don't smash it as hard as any of the rest of them do. Kind of, you got more of a real estate pushing on it versus just the little clips or something. So it's good and tight. These are not my favorite, but they are the cheapest, I think, of all of them. And there, like I said, there's other connectors that you can use, but anyway. Now the 90. All right, now this one here can be a little tricky, but don't let it whip your ass because there's no reason for it. All right, and I suggest put it in first, but you're gonna have to take it all apart. So take the lock nut off. You have to take this loose. All right. Sometimes these are pretty tight. Of course, this one's gonna be tight because I'm doing a video. I've never used this one. It's been in my toolbox for a while. So, all right. So the way to get these apart, I struggled for a while, is what I like to do. I like to take my screwdriver there and just twist them so that pops up, and then pull them straight out. So, because they fit in there kind of like this, like that, right? Like that noise? All right. So, having said that, still need a red eye. Better than a black eye, I guess. You just put it in there. What I like to do is just spin her around till you're good and tight, yeah? All right, and this you'll just put a 90 on, stick your wire in, drop your screwdriver. You want to make sure when you put this in that it stays very tight, like that, all right? So, we're just gonna put it in and then tighten it up, all right? You ain't going nowhere. You're good and tight, y'all. All right, last but not least, these crap things. Now, I'm not gonna stand here and tell you that these are the worst things ever. I'm not gonna tell you they're definitely not the best in my book. Many people love these damn ones here. I don't, but I'm gonna show you guys a couple ways. Now, I save this one for last because I'm gonna destroy it when I get it out of here. I've seen so many people put these in here and realize, uh-oh, I need to get it out. How do I get it out? Well, I'm gonna show you guys. It's really easy. So, secondly, what if you get the MC in here and you want to take it out? Say you put a piece of 12.2 in there and you want a piece of 12.3 in there. Well, I'm gonna show you how to take it out of this and leave the connector inside the box. Come on. So what you gotta do here, now, most of the time, the box is really tight on whatever you're working with, whether it be a piece of wood, metal, whatever. So usually I would take my Kleins and snap it. I'm gonna just try to push it in, hope to goodness that it goes in. And it did. I had to put my muscle in it, but anyway. With this one, all you got to do is same thing. You just put it in. All right. Now, when you get to this point, you got to push. Like, boom. It ain't coming out, right? All right. Now, let me pull you in a little closer. Okay. Problem is, now we have this in here. How are we going to get it back out? Because it's not going to come back out like the other ones with the screw. So we need to put this down because we're done with this right now. What we need to do now to get this piece of MC out is you have to basically unscrew it. So you just have to twist because it's not out yet. It's there you go. All right, now when it comes out, chances are it's going to scar the wire up. But you know, if you need it out, you need it out, right? There you go. I'm sure it scarred the wire up. Not 100% sure, but I'm pretty sure. All right, and then your red eye is pretty much destroyed. Now, how do we get this out? Because that's not going to come out real easy. Now, this one right here, guys, is definitely not going to come out easy. I'm telling you straight up. So what you got to do, and I hope to goodness you guys can see this. I'm going to try to get you in here as close as humanly possible. All right, so what I'm going to try to do is I'm going to try to hold this camera and show you how to do it. Now, what you want to do is, not every time, but this time, luckily for me, this little piece right here, where it's joined together, was in the right spot. So what you want to do is you want to take a flathead screwdriver and you want to pry it up. Because you know, you see right here, it ain't coming out. So you want to pry it up and kind of twist at the same time. So you want to push up and twist. Now, chances of saving this, I don't know, we'll see. I'm not real sure. It's not the easiest thing to come out. So, all right, here we go. All right, so can we put it back together? I don't know. I usually, when I take these out, I just start over. So let's see. So this is kind of like a hose clamp. Now, all I did was pick it up off the floor where it fell. You see where it's joined together right there? That usually sits and seats right in the middle. So let's see if we can put it on. So we'll just... All right, it did snap on. Let's see if we can put it back in the box. All right, so one thing I just saw is you got to put it on right. So there are, right here, I guess you can see it, let's see. See how that thing's shaped? How it's got a lip on it? I don't know if it's focusing on, get out of there. See how it's got a lip on it? It's raised up. Well, that needs to go in the box, so you need to put it on the right way. So basically, when you put it on, you want to have those facing that way. So it looks like this. So it looks like a, kind of like a missile. The fins are facing out, so, you know, back. So it'll go in. We'll see. I'm kind of curious to see if it'll go in the box, because I have, honestly, I can't say it. Damn, it's just as tight as it was to begin with. So we'll leave it in there, and we'll go on with the video. Because I do want to show you guys how to use these, my most favorite prized possession. Now, what we do with this, I shouldn't have said, I guess, these are my favorite, but these are the most easiest to carry around in your pocket versus those roto splits. Now, those roto splits are super good, but these will do just as good a job. Watch this. All right, we're gonna leave these right here hanging. All you gotta do is you know about how long it is, right? So I'm not telling you to make them this long. This is what I make, about that long. So what I would do, I'd just take it and I would bend it and then crush it and then kind of turn it. All right, so I just raise it up just a little bit, just like that. Then you take your pliers, you stick them in at an angle, make sure not to get the wire at this point, and just cut it off. All right, and then take your pliers here and just kind of make sure it's broke off good. And then you don't want to drag your piece down there. Now, is this time consuming? No, because usually I'm doing so fast that it's just, anyway. So we're just going to bend this up so it doesn't drag on the wire going down, and booyaka! All right, what you're left with is basically the same thing you were with that roto split, right? Now, what I'd like to do with these is do one more little thing. Is I'd like to take and I cut the very tip of it off so it's not sharp. Put our red head in there, red eye, anti-short bushing, whatever you want to call it. Put it in. All right. Now, this is where these things come in handy. You take them, you open them up. Put your MC in there and you put it right there on the anti-short bushing, and then you just turn it. And what that does, it rounds it out. Now, you've got a perfectly nice, formed, and that short bushing that's tight, ain't coming out, you're ready to rock and roll, guys. Do the same thing, pull it back, stick your connector on there, cut it off. All right, that's all there is to it, guys. Like I mentioned, everything I've used and you've seen will be down below in the description box. Leave me the comment down below what I asked you. You know what I asked you. If you don't know what I asked you, you need to watch the video again. These all are MC connectors. Don't use Romex connectors, guys. Please don't do that. First of all, it makes you look like stupid ass. And secondly, it's just jackleg. Because if I come behind you on a job, I'm going to talk about you. Don't use a hacksaw to cut the flex either. All right, guys. If you like what you see, make sure you like and subscribe. Everything I use, like I said, will be down there below in the description box. Also down there, I have links to many products that I have and use, and with discount codes. I have my address down there, my Patreon. I also have a PayPal if you want to just, hook me up. Just saying. Everything that I do, money always goes back to my channel, so I can keep on rolling with videos like this. Very informative videos, which I think, yes, they're long, but they're informative. There will be affiliate links also down there, like I mentioned. It doesn't cost you a dime more to use those affiliate links. If you want to check them out, just click on them, look and see what I'm using, how much it costs, so you guys have an idea. That's cool too. Even if you don't buy, it's cool. Anyway, guys, if you like what you see here, make sure you like and subscribe. Leave that comment down below. And we'll see you guys in the next one, guys. Don't do anything half-ass. God bless.